What is up, everybody? Today is a really exciting day, and if you didn't figure it out from the song at the top of this video, we have Kemper profiles. Capsule to Cone has made their own. We've made our own Kemper profiles, and I could not be happier about it. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Between David and myself, we have a large collection of amplifiers, and so we spent 3 days going through all of the amplifiers that we could pull together from ourselves and from our friends, and we even went to a backline company in Knoxville and we rented a few. And some of these amplifiers are very highly sought after. We have a Real 65 Deluxe Reverb. We've also got a Samson era Matchless Chieftain in here. We've got my Friedman BE100 and the Bogner Shiva. Our free pack includes a Sovtech MiG-50 and a Splon Quick Rod. So there's a lot of really high-end boutique amplifiers that people want profiles of, and we have made them very, very affordable for you. It's only $10. You get an amp, okay, and then you'll have 3 or 4 sounds depending on what we profiled. We kind of tried to do it in stages of gain as we were going through them, and we also documented the guitars that we used when we made the profiles, okay? So you can go through there and you can look and see that, oh, they made this with Sir Classic T, that's a Telecaster or a 335, and they sort of go upwards in gain. So like we have 4 profiles of the Shiva amp that are included in the Shiva pack for only $10, and it starts at a very low gain, kind of almost cleaner sound, going up to a full-on like high gain rock sound. All right, so all of the guitars that you just heard in the song at the top of the video are from our Kemper profiling session. They are not processed really in Pro Tools at all, other than just a small high-pass filter to kind of make a little more room for the bass and to just keep them from sounding extra woofy, but I did not go past 100 hertz on any of them, so it's just cutting off the extreme low and subby end, and then I didn't do any other EQ or processing to the guitars at all. So every guitar that you just heard and what you're about to hear in the rest of this video are just straight out of the Kemper. All right, we also did the bass. The bass was also actually through the Matchless Chieftain, and what we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump in and listen to some of these tracks in solo, and I'm gonna tell you what we used on them so you can get a good idea for how they sound, all right? So the first one up is we're gonna listen to the 335, and that is going through a Dr. Z Z-Rec. Here's Curtis playing one of the first guitar parts on this song through the 335 and the Dr. Z Z-Rec profile, and we added a little bit of delay and reverb inside of the Kemper. Next guitar sound is the Sir Classic T going into one of our Shiva profiles. Again, we added a few effects from the Kemper. We added, I think it's called the phase vibe, so it's sort of kind of a, sounded to me like a univibe kind of thing, but not quite. And then we also added a little delay and reverb. It's the same guitar part that Curtis played on the 335, but it's panned the other direction and slightly different effects and a little bit different gain structure. So here's what that sounds like. All right, and after we got our left and right guitars, we wanted to go ahead and add a bass, and this was sort of a happy accident. We're just scrolling through, and we sort of landed on one of the Matchless Chieftain profiles that we made, and I was just kind of like, whoa, dude, that sounds sick, doesn't it? And Curtis was kind of like, yeah, I really like that. And so we went ahead and we played the bass part through the Matchless Chieftain. We ended up reamping a couple of other sounds and tried a bassman and some more standard sounding bass guitar sounds that were kind of dirty or whatever, but the Matchless ultimately had like the right top end bite from the distortion and also had tons of low end. So we actually ended up using the Matchless Chieftain on this, and that profile sounded really great and sort of just kind of fit in the mix automatically with the bass part that Curtis played. Here's what that sounds like. Next, we wanted to beef up the song by adding a few layers, and Curtis had this idea for sort of a Foo Fighters-y octave kind of sound, and so we took the Les Paul Custom and plugged it into a Dr. Z Maz, and we actually ended up doubling this, and so Curtis just played this octave part twice, going into one of the Dr. Z Maz profiles that we made that was a little bit gainy and sort of sounded right for this kind of Foo Fighters-y octave kind of part. Here's what that sounds like. So after the intro of this song, there's a really cool part where it sort of builds up, and then we wanted the song to get bigger and wider and also kind of more sparkly and ambient. And so Curtis had the idea for this kind of U2 kind of a vibe. So we just grabbed the Collings 290 and an AC30 profile that seemed to make sense, and we added some chorus and some like kind of this shimmery analog delay and a really long hall reverb to kind of just make it sort of washy and vibey. And it sounded great with the AC30, and it was just barely overdriven. Here is what that sounds like with the Collings 290. Okay, we're on the home stretch. Just 2 guitars and amp settings left to talk about, and this one was sort of our shoegaze rock sound, and we needed a lot of gain, so we ended up using a Friedman BE profile, and again, put a lot of delay on this. I ended up going for sort of quarter note delay, but it was very fast. A lot of repeats on this, and then also a lot of mix. It's really high in the mix, so there's a ton of delay really washing this out, and reverb on this Friedman BE profile. And Curtis is doing the sort of trem picking thing, and he's using my 76 Les Paul Deluxe, and I think that turned out great and really added the sort of texture that we were looking for in this second section of the intro tune. Okay, last but not least, no guitar gear demo would be complete without some kind of guitar solo to really showcase what this thing can do. And so we plugged into one of our Shiva profiles, and I actually routed the Kemper for stereo. So I plugged another cable in, sent it into Pro Tools, and then I dialed up a delay preset that's similar to my favorite Echo Boy patch that I use on guitar solos all the time, with an 1/8 note delay and a quarter note delay, panned hard left and hard right. And we're using the Shiva to get this really wide, big guitar solo sound, and I think that it sounds really good. Another thing that I feel like is worth mentioning about this is that most of our profiles are crafted so that you can put a pedal, any pedal that you want to use, in front of the Kemper, or you can even use the external ones. And we've even made a note of that in the description, the profiles that we made where we try them with and without a pedal. And so I felt like Curtis needed a little more gain to really make this solo come together. I grabbed a TS9, plugged it straight into the front of the Kemper, and used that with the Shiva patch to come up with this guitar solo sound. Thank you again for watching, and if you just, you're unsure, you want to dip your toes into the water, there's also a link below. You can try some of our profiles out for free before you purchase it. And I think there's like a Sovtech MiG-50, there's an orange rock reverb, I think one of the AC30 ones, I don't know, I can't remember what all's in there. You'll have to go and look, download it, try it out for free, and then if you like those profiles, then, try some of the ones that we made out that cost you a few bucks, all right? All right, thanks for watching. I'm Matt, and I'll see you in the next video.